Where does this leave us? Are you affected by this? Where's it going to go? Well, it seems I have a looming delivery crisis going on, but mine's a small issue compared to this that I saw starting to happen before Christmas. I've just been looking this up to find out what the progress is. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's just say Australia's transportation system is in a bit of a mess, or will be soon. So this article reads, struggle to find AdBlue diesel additive continues with no end in sight. And this is written on the 16th of January, a couple of days ago. This has been going on for 3+ weeks, before Christmas actually, so a month. And it doesn't appear to be getting any better. So what does it say? Shoppers might be contending with increasingly bare shelves as increasing numbers of workers find themselves in isolation due to COVID-19, but another major shortage has been unfolding since late 2021 with the potential for similar consequences. Motorists and truckers across Australia, including the ACT, are still finding it hard to locate a crucial additive for their diesel engines. When they do find it, the prices are astronomical. The bad news is those on the ground say there isn't really an end in sight. AdBlue is made from a very precise mixture of 32% urea and 68% demineralized water, and it is used in modern cars, trucks, farm equipment and construction machinery. The product sits in a vehicle's separate tank to the diesel tank and is automatically injected into the exhaust system, preventing the major smog pollutant nitric oxide from making it into the atmosphere. The technology has only been fitted to diesel engines since 2010, so older models can happily run without it. Maybe that's our answer, go back to old trucks. Anything else will grind to a halt. Modifying the engines as a workaround is possible, but also potentially dangerous and illegal. Up to 80% of Australia's supply of urea comes from China. The trouble began in 2021 when China announced it would no longer be exporting the substance, ostensibly to ensure their local farmers had an adequate supply, so they were keeping it for themselves. This caught Australia off guard with fears the nation's freight lines would collapse. Australia isn't alone either, with AdBlue hard to come by around the world, especially in Europe where diesel accounts for a high proportion of private cars. So are you experiencing this problem in your country? Where are you? Comment. Tell us. How is it affecting your transportation and everything else like that? Local Canberra transport companies MB Logistics and Canberra Main Freight Transport say they have remained largely unaffected by a shortage due to prior agreements with AdBlue suppliers and their relatively small fleets. But the same can't be said for many others. Ablitz Transport is a family-run trucking company with offices in Sydney, Melbourne and Canberra, and a mixed fleet of older and newer vehicles. Spokesperson Lee Ablitz described the situation before Christmas last year as scary. We were looking at no alternative except pulling the truck up, he said. We were lucky we had a good supplier, so we didn't have to pay the obscene prices that AdBlue was going for elsewhere. Ablitz Transport kept a supply in their yard, but even this dried up in the lead up to Christmas. Certain vehicles can go for as long as a week without AdBlue, due to the size of the tank, but others require a top-up nearly every trip. Some of the bigger trucks require 200 litres of the stuff, said Mr. Ablitz. Prior to the shortage, he said, the company was paying 39 cents a litre for their bulk supply from Sydney. It is now $1.89 per litre, that's Australian dollars, with prices elsewhere as high as between $5 and $10 a litre. the average Canberra punter with no access to bulk supplies is bearing the brunt of this. Many people are taking to local Facebook groups to ask about where others have found the elusive additive, as hit but largely missed supplies continue to plague service stations and automotive stores. Mr. Ablett says the issue was improved but is far from resolved, and he expects it to continue causing headaches during the course of 2022. It's only January now. We've got 11 plus 12 months of this. AdBlue, Australia's largest mixer of AdBlue, denies accusations that price gouging is occurring, instead saying the massive increase in cost is attributable to the natural actions of the supply and demand seesaw. That would suggest that supply has gone up, so then has the prices. What's caused demand to go up? Queensland-based company Isotech Pivot is the largest producer of urea in Australia, so we produce our own urea. Supplying around 10% of the national market. That's not much, is it? We rely on 90% from overseas. They are currently overhauling their equipment in Brisbane so they can make more of the higher grade solution used in diesel engines. However, their plant is scheduled to close in December 2022, that's later this year, due to a gas supply dispute, begging questions as to who will pick up the slack come 2023. Where does this leave us? Are you affected by this? Where's it going to go? This is a concern. Is Australia going to grind to a halt? We've got trains, we've got big distances to transport goods all over this country, and without AdBlue, there won't be any transportation. Please comment, let us know. This is a big one, and it seems the media is keeping it quiet. This article was written 16th of January 2022, a couple of days ago, by James Coleman, can be found on the-riotact.com. Struggle to find AdBlue diesel additive continues with no end in sight. You can look it up if you want. Thanks for watching. This is concerning. See you in another video soon.